Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Crystal, and this is my channel about cross stitch. Today is Monday, November 23rd, and I'm here for my weekly update, and it has only been a week, so I'm super happy with that. I don't have a whole lot to show, so this might be a quick one. I have noticed that my camera is a little bit laggy, so if I look slow, like it's my camera. I'm fine. This is take two, because I looked at it and I was like, something is weird. But okay, life update. We had a tiny little COVID scare last week. My daughter had a sniffy nose, and she was sneezing, and she said her throat was bothering her. So we shuffled her to her room pretty quickly, and the plan was to wait and see if she got any worse or if anyone else in the house got any symptoms. See, it's looking weird to me. Sorry. I'm gonna keep going. So I sprayed the whole house with Lysol. She zoomed into her class on Thursday and Friday, and she's completely fine now. No one else got any symptoms. So it is interesting how, last year we never would have sniffy nose or sneezing. We never would have taken her to the doctor. We never would have assumed it was anything other than a cold. So it's hard to know what to do, but she's fine, and everyone's fine, and they're back at school today. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I really wanted to do virtual learning this year, and I still really do want to do virtual learning this year. Especially, it seems so weird. The camera seems weird. Our school didn't give us the option for virtual learning, so they are in class, which is really scary and stressful for me. The week after Thanksgiving, I would really like for them to stay home, and they might. I might just keep them home and take my chances with the powers that be. But man, when they don't have anything to do, or they have like very little to do, they are bored out of their minds. So I wish that our school had given us the option to do virtual learning and that other kids were doing it as well, because then it would be a lot easier for them to stay home. But I can't really worry about what everyone wants above what is best. So I really do think the week after Thanksgiving, we might be all kumbaya in the house together, and wait to see what the world does after everyone goes and gets cooties from their neighbors. Anyway, that is life update. That's really all I've got. Everything else has been totally fine. I do have some notey notes. So on Wednesday, there will be my last whip bin video, so look for that. And then on Friday, I will have a stitch with me. So it's not going to be live, because I don't do live, but I'm going to stitch, and I'm going to answer questions. I pulled up a ton of questions. I haven't really looked at them, so that'll be fun. But I'm going to just answer questions and stitch for, 30 minutes, something like that, and that'll go up on Friday. I like doing these little extra videos because I know there are people like me that are still home, and having extra stuff to watch is fun. So that is my notey notes, and let's start with whips. I'm pretty proud of how much I got done. It's not a lot of whips, but it's a lot of progress on whips. So this is Quilty Love. I don't have the cover page. I say that every time. Nothing is ironed. I am sorry. But this is my Christmas version of Quilty Love. And I was working that's another thing I wanted to mention. I have been a part of a couple of challenge groups on Facebook, like counting challenge groups, Enchanted Stitching, and Semi-Sane Stitchers. Guys, I'm done counting. So one of the challenges was your favorite bird. Somehow relate your stitching to your favorite bird. I don't really care for birds. They're just birds. So I chose redbird and I stitched in red. But for me, the prompts are getting a little weird. Like, I can't always relate them to my stitching. So I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I just want to stitch. So this is my Christmas version of Quilty Love. I have done the Valentine's Day one, which is the way it was charted. I have done an Easter one. I started a 4th of July one, finished fall. There it is on the wall. And this is the Christmas one. So this is my last one. So I have this one and 4th of July. They're both in this bag together to do. And these are getting put in the drawer. I'm not going to work on them anymore for a little while. There's the 4th of July one. I did not leave myself a whole lot of margin on this. So that's going to be pretty tight, but it'll be fine. These will become strand a day projects next year or the year after. I don't know. I love it. I love the pattern. I just feel like when you've done it that many times, it kind of gets old. So that's Quilty Love. You won't see that for a while. Next up, what's on this pile? Little Sheep Virtues. I am doing Little Sheep Virtues as a whole large piece. This week I worked on, I bet it's not in here. I bet I already moved it. More than likely. It's already out of my bag. I'm working on the Little Sheep Virtues. There are 12 of them, I think. Yeah, 12 of them. So they go in a circle, and then I'm putting this in the center. This is Sheep in the Meadow. Yeah, Sheep in the Meadow. And I finished the Courage block. So the goal is to work on this 4 days a month, and in 3 days get the whole block done, and then on the 4th day I'm going to work on Sheep in the Meadow. So I've done 3 days in November. This is so big I don't know how to. And then next week I am going to work on Sheep in the Meadow. So that's Little Sheep Virtues. I love it. And it's on 18 count tea-dyed Aida. I'm using all DMC. I am an Aida and DMC girl. Pardon the weird lighting. I'm trying to figure out the best place to film, because when I sit at my table, this light is like a beacon, but if I turn it off, everything behind me is super dark. So I figured if I moved closer to the window, I'd have light and I could shut this light off, but it's kind of shadowy. So I don't know. I'll get it down. I'll figure it out. But I will say, this is my favorite little corner. This is my stitching dresser. It's got all the things in it. Those are corks in the lamp. I have 2 of those in the house. My mom owned a wine bar, and so she saved all the corks for me. And I have bags and bags of corks. I filled 2 lamps, and I still have a ton extra. The 2 blue mason jars are antique blue mason jars that I got from an antique shop in Door County. I have a wooden pumpkin, a couple more pumpkins. This says It Is Well. I got it from Joann's, and it reminds me of It Is Well with My Soul. So that's there. And this weird grass stuff. This is Grayson and Zoe. Oh, this is Grayson and Zoe. a few years ago. We were apple picking. Those are apple trees, I believe. We must have been cherry picking because of what they're wearing. We go cherry and apple picking in Door County every year. But that's the first photo I took where he was on her back, like piggyback, and she's holding something, like he's looking over her shoulder. Well, we recreate that photo every year now. So it's fun. That's Quilty Love. This sign. Oh man, this sign says Christ alone, my hope is found. It's one of the Psalms, and on the back it has a really nice handwritten note from a friend of mine. She gave that to me when I got baptized 3 years ago. That is my favorite photo of Grayson and I ever. He has a little innocent face. And then this, you probably can't see super well. Let me see if I can. Whoa, it's dark. You can't see that very well. I'll just set you back down. That is my grandmother and Grayson. That's the last time she saw him before she passed away. He's in a diaper, and she's leaning over her chair, and he's chewing on her oxygen cord. But it's my favorite picture of them. So this is my favorite little corner. Back to whips. That's what you're here for. I'm sure a talker. All right, next up is Early Americans. Kind of the same situation as Little Sheep Virtues. So I work on a block a month, and it's not in here either, but that's okay because I finished it. This is on 14 count tea-dyed Ada. It is going to be huge. So I did the John Hancock block. I already had Freedom done, which is the center block. So now I did John Hancock. Is that a cat or a dog? And what is that on the table? What is that? Anybody know? Anybody know what that is? Paper? That's a piece of paper, an ink pot, and a pen sticking out of the ink pot. That's what it has to be, John Hancock. I'm a ding dong. So anyway, I finished this. Took me 3 or 4. This one is slotted for either 3 or 4 days a month. And so I finished it. And next week I am going to start the big border that goes around the whole thing. The border is from Vanna Pfeiffer. If you go to her Instagram, she has a link tree, or if you Google Vanna Pfeiffer Early Americans border, you'll find it. The border is free. She just asks that you give her credit. So that's early, and I'm super excited to start the border next week. And that'll be a light stitching day, so hopefully I can do more than a strand a day that day. This is my strand a day project. I try to put at least a strand a day in this project. This is Mistletoe Lane. It was a mystery stitch along from July from Fat Quarter Shop. I love their stitch alongs, but they do a lot of solid stitching. And I kept up with week 1. This was week 1. This was week 2 with the stocking. The house was week 3. And there's a lot of color change, and it's solid. And I just got totally tripped up. So I finally finished it, and then I did part 4, which was the presents. I did a little boo-boo. This middle line in each of the presents is supposed to be 2 stitches wide. I didn't do that, but that's okay. So I'm super excited. My goal is to do at least a strand a day in this one. All I have left is there's a Christmas tree on the other side of the house. At least a strand a day, and get this done by December 3rd. Yes, because that's when my next strand a day project will start. So I decided that strand a day works really well for me, to just put 1 or 2 strands of something in before I start my other stitching for the day. So what I decided is I'm going to do a whip until it's finished. And then I'm going to new start something. And when that's finished, I'm going to do a whip and finish it. And then a new start. And I'm going to go back and forth. So that's going to get me through my whips, but also allow me some new starts. And the new starts will be small-ish. I'm not going to do a strand a day on something absolutely gigantic. So when this strand a day project is done, I will be working on, it's in my designer project bag. I'll be working on Christmas Carol from Stitching Book Club. That starts December 4th. If you have never heard of it, like I had never heard of it, go to Instagram and look for Stitching Book Club. She has all the information there. We're going to be reading A Christmas Carol. This lighting is not the best. I don't know. Might be better than last time. But we're going to be reading A Christmas Carol and working on a smaller project. It is 8 inches by 8 inches, so that seems attainable. And then my last stitching whip is Seasons in Chalk Winter. It is still in the hoop because I just worked on this last night, but I'll take it out. It has these on it to hold my excess fabric. I've talked about those before. And here is winter. So this week I got all of that bottom portion done, those 3 snowflakes, and last night I got the R finished. Yeah, it's finished. So I have this slotted for 3 more days, and my goal is to finish it in 3 days. And I think that's doable because all I have left is the T, the E, and a handful of stars up at snowflakes. A handful of snowflakes up at the top. So I want this one done this week because I would like to take my fall one down the day after Thanksgiving, because that's when we typically decorate for Christmas. So that is my stitching whips. I worked a lot on this Seasons in Chalk, and I worked more than a strand a day on Mistletoe Lane because I just wanted that house finished. Oh, shoot. That needs to get put back in the bag. Okay. So my last whip was super exciting. It is in this super cute little box. I decided I was not going to put it in like a bag or anything because I want to only have one at a time. So this is my knitting whip, and it didn't go as planned. I got this from Joann's. My daughter and I both of our birthdays is this week, and I've really been looking for a way for her and I to bond. I swore I was not going to talk negative about my family at all on YouTube, so I'm not going to. But she's turning 13. So there you go. And I have really, really, really been struggling with our relationship, which I think is probably normal. But she likes to knit on a loom. She likes to do crafty projects. And I asked her, would you like to knit something with me, learn to knit? So when the boys are gone, for some reason, we'll put videos up on our big screens right here We'll put videos up on the big screen, YouTube videos, and we will learn to knit. I know how to knit, sort of, from years past, but a good refresher was definitely needed. And she answered the way a 13-year-old answers, and I think I just got my hopes up a little too much that she was like all in. So I got us a pattern, a beginner pattern. I thought was going to be like a super easy beginner pattern. No, not really. It's not. So this is a cowl. It is a 2x2 rib. So knit 2, purl 2, which is really easy. Once you get going, this is super easy. The problem is we're using size 15 needles, which are fat, and they're a little bit cumbersome, and we're stitching in the round, which once you get going is great, but in the beginning is hard to wrap your brain around. And you cast on 140 stitches. So she grumbled and bumbled, and it did not go great. So she has put hers back in her box. I don't know if she's going to pick it back up. She got all 140 stitches cast on, started in the round, and probably did like 6 stitches before she had to be done. So this is from ladybythebay.com. I have no idea what it's called, but the finished size is 40 inches around, 12 inches high, unstretched. It is supposed to use chunky weight alpaca yarn. From my first project. So we're using not that. We're using Big Twist Natural Blend. It is 80% acrylic, 20% wool. It is so soft. I am stitching mine, knitting mine in the color medium gray. I got this from Joann's. She is doing it in like a royal purple, and it is gorgeous. And if she doesn't pick hers back up and finish it, I'll probably do it for her. And just let it go, you know? I mean, if she doesn't want to knit, she doesn't want to knit. It is what it is. We'll find something eventually to bond over. So this is my progress, which doesn't look like a lot. It is 3 rows, knit 2, purl 2. It's looking pretty good. It is long. It is long because it's a big, chunky cowl, which for winter is going to be great. So yeah, that's my progress. It's really hard to tell because I got 3 rows done. So I cast on 140 stitches, got 3 rows done. I've started another row. That's how long I've done on a row. That's my beginning of a row marker. So I will probably put on a stitch marker here before I start knit marker. Is it a stitch marker? I don't know. I'll put on a marker before I start knitting again. That way, next time I'm here, I'll be able to show you how much progress I had. But what is that? Is that an inch? 11 more to go? 1 inch down, 11 to go? It's going to be awesome. I love it. These are not my favorite needle. I really like the skinny needle. My next project, I'm going to look for something with skinny needles. And I'm going to keep knitting. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. So I really enjoy that. Put it back in the box. The cats really enjoy it too. It lives down there. All right, so what's next? What's next? Plans. Plans. Haul. Haul is way down in the corner. I got the November, December, and January wordplay cross-stitch patterns. I've been wanting to start that series, so 3 down, 9 to go. Very exciting. So that's all the haul I have. Plans for this week are to do the border, start the border for early Americans. My Stranded A project, hopefully I'll finish that Christmas tree this week. Seasons in chalk, I'm going to push for a finish on that. I'm going to do year in chalk by Hands On Design. I do that every month. I've just got to whip my December one out. Those take like a day, so that's not a big deal. And then on Sunday, I'm having my birthday start. I am starting Three Little Words by Lizzie Kate. This is what the whole thing looks like when it's finished. I am starting in the middle, so this is the one I'm starting with. There is a free border on the website. I am stitching this on 18 count parchment. If I can get it open. There is not a whole lot of modeling in this. There's no modeling in this, basically, which I really wanted because it's kind of busy. It's kind of busy. So, and I'm using DMC, and I'm starting this on November 29th, my birthday, and I am using the hashtag 3, the number 3, Little Words B-Day Sal. So if you have this one in your stash or you want to start it, I will probably work on this on the 29th of every month, so this is not something that will get done right away. Yeah, I'm excited to start that. We have no birthday plans for either one of us. We're going to have cake, and I am going to start a cross stitch, which isn't a big deal because I start a cross stitch all the time. So that's part of plans. Also part of plans is Sew Square Runner. PiecedTreePatterns.com. This is the Tiny 2 pattern. I am going to make a table runner. So this week, there's a candy bar in there. That's awesome. This week, I am going to cut out my fabric. So these 3 are, nope. Why is this all just, I don't know. This is the main square pattern. It is wrinkly. It was folded nicely. But that is the main pattern with all those, look at these. Sheep, cow, chickens, pigs. Look at that cow with a hat on. That's awesome. So that's the main pattern. 2 of these, I don't know which 2, are the accent triangles, and then the other one is the backing. This will probably be the backing. And those will probably be the accent triangles. So I'm going to cut all the pieces out this week. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to start sewing. Baby goals, baby goals. I feel like baby goals are the way to go for me with new things, so I don't get overwhelmed. So that's pretty much all I have. Last week I did a giveaway by her hand from La Di Da. The giveaway winner for this was Naomi Jane. So if you can shoot me an email, my email is linked down below, crystalmorse@aol.com, and I'll get that in the mail to you. This week I have another La Di Da pattern to give away. It's called Little Red House. Isn't that cute? And then the pattern. Has writing on it. Oh, their conversion. It has the and then their conversion. I got this at the secondhand store. It smells perfectly fine. So, but I'm going to give this away. So use the word red. Use the word red. Like the video, comment, and use the word red, and I will pick a winner next Monday for this one. So that's definitely all I have. Keep an eye out for the whip bin video on Wednesday and the stitch with me. I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of answer the questions. I don't have any real reason for doing it other than just creating more content, and this is fun for me, you guys. I'm here by myself all day, and I'm no longer working from home, so gives me something to do. But I'm excited for that, so keep an eye out for those. And other than that, I'll be back next Monday. Hopefully, that's the plan, for another regular Flosstube update. So until then, everyone have a great week and have a super happy Thanksgiving. Bye.